Hey there, and welcome to Google's Innovation for the Nation 2013, actually the final session of Innovation for the Nation. I'm Christopher Dorobek, anchor and managing editor of GovLoop's Dorobek Insider, and we've spent the day looking at how you can do your job better, how technology helps you do your job better, and we've been talking to some really remarkable government transformers who are out there and doing amazing things in really challenging times. Joining me for a recap of the day is Mike Bradshaw. He heads up Google Federal. Mike, one of my big takeaways was, and we started the day talking about how so much consumer technology out there, and now it really is changing how government does its job, isn't it?
Yeah, totally agree, Chris. As a matter of fact, my son Tyler and I were just talking today about the rapid pace of innovation that's coming out of the consumer world. It's almost impossible to keep up with it. And yet you see the thought leadership in the federal government with the applications they're developing and putting out there for their use. It's great.
And the remarkable thing as we've gone through the panels during the day is some very complex, like we were talking about GIS and mapping with Homeland Security, very complex process with how you keep that secure and a lot of challenges there, all the way to something as simple as, okay, we have to do performance reviews and mostly everyone hates them and we want to make it easier. And somebody on the front lines comes and says, hold on, can't we automate parts of this? That's a wide range of changing one's lives.
Yes, it is. I loved Rosia's comment that said it didn't make the process any less painful, it just made it shorter. It made it more efficient. But I think that's a good, important part about cloud computing and some of these applications. They can make your job much more efficient. And it's great to see them coming in here. You know, another common theme was mobility. We've talked about this for 20 years. And it's great to see mobility really coming in now to the bring your own device, just coming into the federal government. I think cloud computing has made that much more viable because again, you can have this device which is as powerful as a PC and yet connect to a cloud and get so much more information and do so much more.
Yeah, and I said earlier, but if you had told me that we would be talking about BYOD in government, for goodness sakes, I would have put a lot of money betting against that ever happening, and yet some agencies are actually doing it. Most agencies are thinking about it in some way, shape, or form, and that is largely due to cloud.
Yeah, absolutely. It's also incredible to see how quickly the PC has almost become an antique relative to people using different devices. I mean, the PC will never go away. It certainly has its place, but boy, there are so many other devices now that are being used to get business done while the mobile force is out there, the mobile government force.
There's still a lot of challenges, and I asked you earlier, is security the first question that you get? You said not quite as much, but it's still probably fairly early in the discussion, isn't it?
It really is. Security is still a top priority. You saw it come up today. We've seen it in a lot of the questions that came in the chat sessions. But I think part of the challenge with security is also determining how do we evaluate it for the federal government for some of these new technologies. I think that still is a big challenge for everybody.
And people figuring out the different risk levels. That guess what? We don't have to. Not everything is top security. That some stuff we don't have to worry about as much, and we're still getting used to that.
Exactly, and I think sometimes we think things have to be 100% risk-free with the new products when they were much lower with the current products that we're using. So sometimes we put too much of a burden on ourselves as far as security.
The apple and orange comparison. I know this is also a different way of reaching out to folks and having these conversations. The power of Google Hangouts, which I've used for a long time and love, creating a different way of having this kind of conversation.
Yes, and we'd love feedback from people who participated today on doing a virtual innovation for the nation. We're very conscious of the budget problems and how it's really affected travel. And so we're pleased that we were able to reach so many people with this session, but we'd love your feedback on what was useful, what wasn't, what you'd like to see added to it.
And still so much going on, and I know you're off to catch a plane, but so much technology still out there. Can't wait to see what comes out of you guys next.
Yeah, we're very excited about. We were trying to keep this to one day. We had about 2 to 3 days worth of things that we wanted to talk about. So we'd love to do another one pretty soon to talk about the other applications that have been built. And one thing I did want to do, Chris, was just talk for people who still have questions, just ways of reaching us. The easiest way is just to send an email to federal@google.com. Another way is we have a Google government community on Google+. So please go up there and sign up for that if you'd like to as well. There's a lot of good discussion going on about other solutions that have been developed in the government community.
And in fact, a lot of the YouTube videos from today are in that Google Plus page, so you can find them nice and easy if they're all easy to find. So, Mike Bradshaw of the head of Google Federal, thank you very much. Thanks for having me involved. Love doing it.
Yeah, and Chris, I want to say a big thank you to you. You did a great job hosting today, and we really appreciate you taking the time for it.
It's a great to hear all these folks doing. These are, I keep saying, these are the best of times and the worst of times, and we all know what the worst of times are. But I think anyone who spent any time today saw what some of the best of times. Really remarkable stuff that can be done, and so go out and do it. Thank you for being a part of Innovation of the Nation. We're thrilled that you've been here. Again, if you want more information, federal@google.com, and have a great day. Thank you very much.